Hej och välkomna till avsnitt 3 av Draugen, min genomspelning av Draugen. Vi har precis fått reda på att Fredriks dotter Rut dog. Hon ramlade ner från klipporna. Och man tror att den tvillingbroderns son, Simon, har puttat henne. Det är varför det står barnmördare på väggen och lite sådär. Det har vi precis fått reda på. Nu ska vi gå upp till kyrkan och kolla någonting. Jag vet inte vad de tror att vi ska se. Men vi går dit. Jag har gjort inbrott också. Så det är ingenting vi låtsas om. För det är okej när man hittar sin systers hatt. Ja, vi hittade systerns hatt också. Just det.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
A
us.
little girl died. We're staying in her home, for God's sake. Are you completely without heart? Get yourself up here, Edward Harden, right this minute.
Hur? Aha.
Come on, it's an easy climb.
This looks very dangerous.
Oh, you're a big boy. Start acting like it. It's not Mount Everest.
Så jag är
I don't know about this.
nyfiken på att se vem fan Lizzie är egentligen. Det känns, som jag sagt innan, att hon är ett fantasifoster för honom. Ja.
What is this?
Where little Ruth died.
You're being morbid. And this is a distraction. I'm here for
Oh.
Betty, not because some girl
Edward.
got herself...
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. You know, you've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and
Harsh.
years. There are other people in this world, you know. It's not all about you. You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened to the poor girl. Together.
Okej.
Dad's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
Men vi har ju konstaterat att de inte är här.
Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful.
Ligger någonting där?
I think there's something behind it.
Ja.
Can you move the rock aside?
Åh nej, inte en jävla docka. Fuck det.
It must be Ruth's.
Oh,
Where's the
det är
head?
ju
Maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
laddningsgrejen.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. It looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong in a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin?
Rusty,
go
den är
further
för fan i trä.
Maybe we'll find more clues. Come on, old sport. It's not far.
Aj.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath?
Tog du? Du tog dockan.
Do
Ew.
you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just stumbling through darkness?
Jag vet. Men gud. Wow.
You can see clear beyond the edge of the world. You're right. It is awfully chilly.
One
Oh,
second.
teddy bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So, the girl fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean? Can you see where she fell?
Oh. He was looking down. His heart does not favor heights. The stone, he notices, would be the likely terminator point.
If she fell head first on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward, honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
I'm not. What was she doing up here in the first place?
Så att hon
Playing?
lekte här.
She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not.
Jo.
I don't have time for this nonsense. We're running out of daylight, and Betty's still
Mycket pinnar.
out there. Lissy, slow down. I can't keep up with you. Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy? Are you there? Are you here, Lissy?
I'm right here.
Tjena!
Teddy,
Word. Look away,
Oh!
Lissy.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
Oj
It's
då.
one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
This is just ghastly. What made him do this? How long has he been?
From the state of the body, perhaps a couple of weeks. Depends on temperature and humidity, of course.
Titta inte på honom. Sluta!
What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother drowned
Don't.
herself? Sorry.
Wow.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon.
Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Eller?
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. It's tragic, but really none of my
Oh,
concern.
Betty, Betty, Betty. Always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. What if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he... Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Ja, förlåt.
As I was saying, Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty.
Hon är väldigt vettig, den här ungen i alla fall. Oavsett om hon är på riktigt eller inte. Hur fan låter någon hänga så här?
I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse.
Hon känner honom också väldigt bra. Vilket är... Hon, fast ung hon är så känns det som att hon har varit med hela hans liv.
Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight,
They're not coming back.
perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened?
Jo.
She was probably murdered.
And you think Simon did it?
Your guess is as good as mine. It could have been an accident.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
All right. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking.
Det är någonting med den där ungen alltså. Okay, good night. Creepy child.
What did you find?
Someone tried to burn this.
Just like the book. Isn't that odd?
It's addressed to Mrs. Fretland. My dearest Anna. It's from her sister, Margaret. Frederick's wife. The two brothers married sisters, remember?
Yes.
Yes. And it's adorable.
Nej, det är
Keep
inte adorable, det är weird.
I really shouldn't.
Really? How else are we going to figure out what happened? Keep reading.
My dearest Anna, I miss you so very, very much. The baby is due soon, and I wish for our family to reunite before... It's been 7 years since the dreadful incident at the mine. Can we not convince Frederick and Johann to forgive and forget? I know there are things Frederick has not told me about what they found and why they parted ways. Their grudge is tearing us all apart. Frederick won't even let me speak to half of our neighbors, accusing them of treason. He's so very angry and full of regrets. It's eating him up. And we...
And we what?
The rest is unreadable.
Margaret reached out to her sister. But I guess it didn't work.
This was written before Simon was born, but burned recently.
Ja, som hade en grudge innan han ens föddes. Jag får inte öppna. Du tar mig fan teleportera dig. Kan jag sätta dit hatten nu? Ja.
What are you doing?
Betty will want these back.
I don't think it's healthy
Not now,
to...
please.
Nej,
I'm exhausted.
det är det inte. Det här är weird. Det här är också weird.
You do look exhausted. Go to bed, Edward. I'll tuck you in.
Okej.
Quite the day, huh?
I'm ready to pass out. Where will you sleep?
I'll be up for a while. My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlands arriving.
Of course. And I'll keep my eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There are no...
Hush now. Sleep.
Underliga lilla barn. Dag 3.
Lissy!
Upstairs.
Teddy? Is that you?
Lissy?
I'm upstairs.
This is her room. Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then... nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever.
Därför de alltid är arga på varandra i bilderna.
Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look.
Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet. She was 8.
That's fucking creepy
Ruth
though.
never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
Verbanelsen, the
Förbannelse.
curse.
What is that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
Ja,
A
som
figment of her
fan.
imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out. What is this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. Well, they belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
Yep.
This is where it came from. Her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
A dig, a gravesite. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things. That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Ja.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear. She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine.
Mine.
It could be. But what did she find?
Her Viking treasure. Of course.
Vad är det hon har på huvudet? Har du sett?
This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
There's a story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
She didn't
Jävla
imagine the
tråkig.
Viking artifacts.
Nope.
You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic
This is
events.
what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
Church bell. Someone's here. Maybe Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble. I need to get to the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We
I
should be
told
careful.
you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think about all of this.
Okej. Run! Det är fan svinlångt dit. Oh, it's so pretty. Okej, så jag gissar att hans syster är tvärdöd. Och att det här monstret har dödat henne på något sätt. Hello, Mr. Goat.
July 24th. Memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer.
All these fresh graves. Do you think that maybe
No.
Betty...
I'd know.
But
You wouldn't understand. Elizabeth and I, we have a bond.
God, Edward. Your obsession with her is really starting to grate.
Why board up a church?
To keep the on fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Can you peek through the boards? See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
Yep.
Hello? I heard the bell.
This is giving me
I'm
the
here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Jaha. Bara... Jag har inte sett... Jaha, okej.
Look at that. The Ethel becomes an Edward. I didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. Betty? Are you here? Hello?
Titta upp.
This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here.
There are no ghosts.
What's this rope for?
The bell.
What the fuck?
This is the bell we heard ringing?
I don't see any other bells.
So you have to stand here and pull this rope.
Lissy, look. Betty's gloves. They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
Pete's
these
sake.
in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day she...
Han är lite weird.
She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around?
Thank
It doesn't
you.
make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves, her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a lab.
Betty will have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill.
Oj.
What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here. Their faith was challenged, and it didn't survive. The church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead,
Her name would be in the book.
Yep.
vandals. They tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me. I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are. The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you. I've never seen you read the Bible before.
For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Olden English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes.
Det är bara weird.
Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Yeah.
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a What are you doing? We're in a church.
Thought thought you didn't believe in God.
I do believe in civility. They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it.
Isn't this a fire hazard?
They're not always lit. Each candle represents a single prayer.
That's a lot of prayers.
There were a lot of deaths.
You found another one? Just one more page missing. What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
Tilly varandra.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly. But I wonder if they were even here.
Remember the wedding picture? They were close friends once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
Så dröj inte bara titta ner på pappret.
You
när man
call
pratar så
each
här.
other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us. It sounds like Grovik was split in two, between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune.
Okej.
We need to find all the pages. Found another one.
Gjorde
You
du?
get it. It's right here.
Varför sa du inte det från början då?
2 for 2. A tie. Good job, Teddy. Old
Stop,
bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Eddie's out there.
Of horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Bitty, bitty, bitty. Will you ever shut up about your precious Betty?
Jag håller med lite faktiskt.
Put those pages back in the book.
This book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the third Fretland brother. The one who died in a cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse. That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Oj.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
Look here.
Oj.
Ruth
Mord.
Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died. Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, a half-dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom. Förräder.
Förrädare.
Traitor.
Oj.
Edward? What's wrong?
The final entry. There's no name. Alice, what if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty,
It doesn't mean she's...
she's not dead. She can't be. I'd know. I'd know.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me! Edward!
Where is it? This one. It's unmarked.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad?
Ja.
Edward, stop it!
Thank God. It's not her.
It's kind of creepy, bro.
It's not Betty. It's not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
Bara blivit lite galen.
It's not Elizabeth. I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister like
Or
that.
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us? You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just leave me be.
Fine.
Lizzie?
Jag sa ju det!
Alice? Come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back. I need you. Lizzie? Where are you?
Uh-oh. You are crazy.
Lizzie? Alice? I was afraid you'd left me. Now listen to me. No! Alice! Please! Lizzie. Hey. Lizzie, please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Of course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish she was!
Don't.
Nej.
You deserve to be alone.
No! Lizzie!
Please, talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
You think you own me? That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day? That I'm your puppet? Your little plaything?
No!
Well, fuck you, Edward Charles Harden! I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase!
Now, be reasonable.
Nej.
Lizzie,
No, 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 no.
what are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate this.
Now listen to me. Please, listen. Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me. I need you. I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no, 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 no! What? No! Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please don't.
You make me sick, Edward.
Oj!
Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you. We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No, Never. Never. I never forget. I am never alone.
The fuck just happened?
Wake up, Edward.
Okej. Innan Edward vaknar så avslutar vi del 3 av Draugen. Alltså nu börjar det hända grejer. Nu är jag taggad. Okej. Men vill ni se mer får ni se nästa avsnitt helt enkelt. Ha det bra så länge. Hej då!